Well, welcome y'all to today's IEP meeting. I am Mr. Foster. I'm Lester's special ed teacher. We also have Ms. Horton, his English teacher, and Mr. Loser, Lester's dad, here today in the meeting. This IEP meeting is for Lester's IEP annual review. It's for the 2014-2015 school year, which means Lester will be an 11th grader. It's going to get started with the strengths of the student. Lester is extremely bright. He has close friends at school, and around them he's very social. If he's not around his close friends, he can be very quiet in the classroom. Lester works hard to complete his assignments and wants to make good grades. Teachers need to understand that he tries to be a responsible student, and his specific learning disability, his SLD disability, is the reason he may not complete his assignments correctly. Other concerns from the parents, Mr. Lucian? I want to thank y'all for having me today. I am Lester's father, Mr. Lucian. Just the reason we're here is for Lester. We support him 100%, but we do have some concerns about Lester. Our main concern is about his future. He's in high school right now, and sooner or later he's going to be getting out. And we just have concerns about him holding down a job, or possibly going to further education, maybe to a community college. That's the main reason we're here. Lester does not handle change very easily. He likes when he gets used to things, he likes the way they are. He gets used to them, and when things change, he doesn't handle it too well. As far as right now in school, my wife does a lot of help. She helps him out a lot in the afternoons. She reads a lot of his assignments to him, and almost all of his writing assignments he does at home on the computer, which we don't have a problem with. But that's how he gets most of his work done at home. My biggest concern as a father is for Lester's, I guess, the appearance of him being immature. It just seems to me like he doesn't have concern too much about the future. I don't think he fully understands that just in a few short years he'll be through with high school, and he's going to have to make a decision as to whether he's going to go to college or to try to get a job. We want to make sure that he has the skills that he can use to either get a job and keep a job, or go to school. And that's my main concern, because I want him to be able to live a successful, independent life. Thank you, Mr. Lucian. We'll go with some students' preferences and interests. Lester recently completed a career interest inventory to assist with gathering information and transition planning. Assessments and a case manager interview indicate that he is interested in computers, action-adventure movies, and hands-on activities. But he needs additional instruction for choosing post-secondary options in financial management. Lester plans to attend a local junior college and obtain a part-time job. Lester is friendly and well-liked by his close peers. In the classroom, he's more focused on small group instruction and hands-on activity. The transition assessment did not indicate any weakness in the area of personal or social. Lester, however, it should be noted that he doesn't voluntarily self-advocate to his teachers or peers the extent of his disability and how it affects his academic performance. In other words, Lester needs help in standing up for himself and letting the teachers know that one reason his assignments aren't completed on time is because of his disability. Results of recent evaluations: Lester will be in the 11th grade at Gamecock High School. Work samples, the Alabama High School graduation exam practice test, and the Woodcock-Johnson, the third test of achievement, indicate that Lester is below average in solving basic reading comprehension, basic writing skills. He also has a major weakness in reading grade level passages orally with fluency and comprehension during classroom observations with Ms. Horton. During those observations, Lester demonstrated difficulties with written communication skills, word retrieval, modification of nouns and verbs, and conjugating words. A lot of times that happened when Lester was up in front of the whole class. Academic development and functional needs of the student. Lester has challenges in reading and writing because of his disability. It does affect his academic progress in the general ed classroom. Lester has difficulty communicating with his teachers and peers, and how his disability affects homework completion and completing classroom assignments in a timely manner. Lester needs to work on communicating his frustrations and problems to his classroom teachers. Lester responds to small group and direct instruction, and teachers should review important information frequently, and Lester does not take any medication for anything. As far as special instructional factors, and all these we'll check no except for a couple, does the student have behavior which impedes his own learning or the learning of others? No. Does the student have a behavior intervention plan? Yes. Does the student have limited English proficiency? No. Does the student need instruction in Braille or the use of Braille? No. Does the student have communication needs? No. Does the student need assistive technology devices and or services? No. Does the student require special designed PE? No. If the student is the student working toward alternate achievement standards and participating in Alabama alternate assessment? No. Are transition services addressed in this IEP with annual goals? And that's yes. As far as transportation, regular bus, this is mode of transportation. That is what we have checked. Does the student require transportation as a related service? No. He's perfectly fine without it. Non-academic extracurricular activities. Lester is allowed to participate in non-academic extracurricular activities with his non-disabled peers. Method and frequency of reporting progress and attaining goals to parents. Report cards go home every 9 weeks, and you'll get an annual goal progress report every time he gets a report card. It'll talk about how he's achieving his IEP goals. Lester was invited to the IEP meeting. As far as his exit options for school, he's planning on achieving an Alabama high school diploma. For next year, we're anticipating him getting a credit in English, math, science, social studies, and 3 electives. Transition assessments. We used the transition planning assessment and interest inventory with Lester. As far as his goals for post-secondary transition, post-secondary education training goal, the student will be prepared to participate in a 2 to 4 year post-secondary education program based on completion of graduation requirements and admission of application for enrollment. In other words, Lester is okay to, once he graduates and gets his diploma, he can go to a junior college or maybe university once he's accepted and completes everything he needs to for admission. Employment occupation. Student will be prepared to engage in a career-related planning leading to the selection of a career based on personal career interests, aptitudes, abilities, and occupational information. In other words, we'll get Lester involved in a process of helping him determine what kind of job he needs to get that will be career-oriented. Community independent living goals. Student with time-limited support will be prepared to participate in both community activities and live independently based on independent living skills achieved in indication of community living options and support options. Just like Lester's father said, we're going to do our best to make sure that he can live as independently as possible. Other transition services. Based on the student's strengths, preferences, and interests, the following coordinated transition services will reasonably enable the student to meet the post-secondary goals. And we just have something for personal social there, which is personal management. That involves his daily living, financial planning of how to manage a checkbook, how to pay bills, things like that. Now, as far as goals. Academic goals. First one is reading, and we have Ms. Horton here, who is his English teacher, and I'm going to let her talk about that one.
Hello, Ms. Loser. My name is Ms. Horton, and I am Lester's English teacher. It is so good to meet you. I guess today I'm going to talk about his performance in the English classroom. What we've noticed is that he does have problems solving basic reading skills or having reading comprehension, and he also has problems with basic writing skills. He does have a problem in class. He doesn't like to read out loud. I think it probably embarrasses him. And he does have a problem with modifying nouns and verbs and conjugating, nouns and verbs and conjugating his verbs. But he really is well behaved. He is very social in my classroom, but I think that's because he has a small group of his friends that he went to elementary school with for so many years. And so during lunch, that's when we have him. That's when I have him, is during lunch. They're very social. He talks a lot. He does enjoy being put into small groups and working with those particular students. Now, he does not like to do group work with other peers and that sort of thing. But so anyway, I worked with Mr. Foster to develop a reading goal for him. And what we're going to do is this, and this is what it is. It's given appropriate instruction and accommodations to address his reading disability. Lester will improve his reading comprehension skills, as evidenced by growth on a computer-based assessment of grade level equivalence by the end of the fourth 9 weeks. And what we'll do, we will use that STAR. I know he's probably complained to you about the having to take those STAR tests and that sort of thing all the time. We have them take them about once a week, or twice a week, something like that. The more they do it, the better they get. So that's the reason we do it. So if he's complaining, that's why.